I just asked my friend to make a drink that is not actually Polish, but because I'm a wine guy, which is very easy to remember. I have a really bad memory. Okay, so is it? Are we on already?
Well, I think we're recording. I have to do an introduction, but we'll get back to it.
Press the red button. All right. And so I have a really bad memory. I hardly remember my own name, but. When I wake up, I'm like, okay, I like my wine white and my metal black. Wine white, metal black. Wine. It's very easy to remember. So I asked for white wine, but there was none. But there was red. So I asked, hey, give me some red wine and a splash of Coke.
I thought it was weird.
It's probably very weird, but it tastes good.
Okay.
So cheers to that. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, cheers.
I remember I got an email asking, hey, are you into like doing this interview, with the audience? And I'm like, you know what? I've never done this before, and I love it. And I really like confronting people, Just we will be talking, It's good to have like people because you guys, it's a small group, but it doesn't matter because we share energy. You know what I mean? You're here and. It really affects me in a positive way, It just inspires me,
It's like playing music on live, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And you know what? I said that yesterday, which is really cool. I think, I mean, these days, like we are so used to just click on, get our music. We really isolate ourselves from the world in that sense. Okay. When I work out, I put headphones and I do my workout. But that's only because I cannot fucking stand that shitty music in all the gyms in the world, There's shitty music all over the place. So this is the only reason, Otherwise, I would just love them to blast battery, But it never happens. Anyways, yesterday we had this like 350 capacity room, and guys from my management and label, they said it's unheard of, It's a listening party like the quality is never there, in a venue like that, and still like people are coming out just to socialize, to confront, to live the life, you know what I mean? Yeah. Not to stay home and just be safe and be boring with a computer. You can always do that, And we're so attached to that smartphones and laptops. Nothing wrong with that, but we gotta really level it out and just stay healthy. So I consider this interaction as very healthy. So thank you again for being here.
Yeah, cheers. I'm Ethan Fixell. I'm Kerrang's U.S. director, and we're here at Kerrang's U.S. office in Brooklyn, New York. I'm here with Nergal of BEHEMOTH. The man, the myth, the legend. Yeah. Nergal, welcome to Kerrang. Thank you for joining us in conversation. I want to say, first of all, congrats on the new record.
Thank you.
And I want to talk about that first and foremost.
Of course.
When I first heard the title, I loved you at your darkest. I thought it was a little emo, to be honest. I thought, is Nergal going dashboard confessional on us? What's happening here?
That was a plan, all right?
Tell me what the plan was.
The plan was to come up with a title that's going to attract all the emo guys, okay?
Okay.
Then they would listen to the record, and obviously, they're thinking, it's another My Chemical Romance kind of stuff,
Right.
But it's Behemoth there, and it ends up to be fatal to all those kids, So I'm like, come on, listen, all the emo kids, come and listen to the new record, So this way we're gonna get rid of all the emo kids in the world. Thank you.
Aggressive.
No. Okay, I'm just trying to be funny.
That's fair.
I failed.
You're fine.
No. Anyways, the thing is that we ended up the Satanist cycle, and I sense that for years now. Since we did the title, I this thought would just cross my mind. How can I ever top the genius of that title? Never. This is it. How can you compete with the Satanist title? No, you can't. And then if you know our legacy, you know that we are known for just bringing up these one-word statements: Evangelion, apostasy, demigod, satanica. It's all very strong statements, right? So I'm like, okay, we're coming back. 11th album, carte blanche, like the new beginning. Not totally, but we always try to like redefine ourselves, and like I'm not fucking going back to the same river again. I mean, not this time. Like we might do something like that again next time, but in order to keep the dynamics, which we're missing with this one-word titles, I want to go somewhere else when people don't even expect me to go, steal from our adversaries, steal that words, steal that quote from their supposed messiah, just bring it on that side of the fence, just twist it around and just put it upside down, whatever, redefine it, just give it our own definition, if we will, and then throw it back at their face, and that was the plan, just to do something totally unexpected, something that's going to surprise ourselves. When I came across that quote, that's from the Bible, from the book of Romans, and I was like, wow, that's it. I mean, I felt that, And then it just coming up. It wasn't like the Satanist, I mean, I don't know if the story how I came up with the Satanist name. It was pretty funny. I was on the plane from Tuska to Europe, and it was 4 years ago or 5 years ago maybe now. And Tuska is a Finnish festival, and I'm on the plane. And next to me is sitting this businessman kind of guy, and he pulls out the magazine. And I'm like sitting there looking at the cover of the magazine, and it says, The Economist. And believe it or not, I'm connecting dots immediately, like, Eureka! I got it! And the band is like looking at me, what do you mean? Like, I got an album title. What do you mean? The next Behemoth album title. I have it. Okay, tell it. So I pulled out my smartphone. I texted it. Why? Because I thought it's so genius, that if I say it aloud, someone's gonna hear it and they're gonna fucking steal that idea. And I'm like, no way. So I typed it in and I showed it to them, and now we forget. So that's how we did with the Satanist, and then I remember I came across that title, I Loved You to Darkest, and then, hey, I mean, it's such a multi-layered title. I mean, like, how many people are here? Like, what, 20, 30? I better, what I'm doing with this record now, I'm just traveling across the globe, talking to people about the title, and honestly, they give me their own interpretations. And you know what I do? Because I'm no original, of course, I steal their interpretations and go to the next journalist and I repeat what I just heard, Because, hey, how many times it's just boring to repeat the same formula all over again, you know what I mean? So it's good to just keep the dynamics again, mountains and valleys. That's what I Loved You at the Darkest is sonically. And when it comes to the content, it's ups and downs. It's a very diverse record. So, just concluding, and I challenge you guys here. Name an extreme metal band, be it death or black metal, that has a word love in its album title. Second, name an extreme metal band, being black or death metal, that would quote Jesus Christ and put it on an album title. I bet you fail.
Does anybody know one?
Stretch your brains. Maybe there is. I'm not a walking encyclopedia of heavy metal. I know a lot, but I don't think there is any. Maybe. But then, someone like a few days ago, some journalists made this parallel. Hey, I mean, don't you think that the album title is actually very similar the vibe is similar to what you did with Me and That Man? And I'm like, yes, it is. And there's the word love there, and is love, songs of love and death. So it's love and death. And you know what? That's idea fix of my life. That's the the leitmotif of my life, to confront the opposites, to confront the excluding elements, and just confronting them together and just putting them together. And it took me a while to realize why I called my book Sacrum Profanum. You know what I mean? That what happens, you know, that's my casus, you know. That what happens to me every now and then. I look back to what I did a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and I'm like, now I know why I did that. So that's what I do. I just go with the flow, go whatever comes from, you know, this rock and roll. It's from balls and from my heart and from below, I guess. I'm looking there, but I'm thinking below, obviously. And I just release that, and I just express that in this very form that you confront when you listen to the record or go to the show and blah blah blah. This is how I feel about it, you know. And I mean, you may ask me questions, I may try to answer them, you know, but I tell you, I don't have answers to everything that we do, you know, because I just feel that way, and people ask me, why did you name that song that way? I don't know, I felt like that, you know. It just, and trust me, I mean, our bodies and our intuition is way bigger and way smarter than our brains. Our brains want to conquer everything, but they're not as clever as our bodies, you know. So if you know how to connect with yourself, and you know how to channel that energies that are within yourself, that's the ultimate knowledge. So sometimes we don't understand that, but it's much more true than, you know, this fucker here, you know, is trying to tell.
So let me ask, in that sense, and using those tools that you have, you know, you created an album that I think is more rock and hardcore influenced and more mainstream than some of your other previous releases.
Probably.
I think so. Was that something that was deliberate, or is that something that just happened naturally?
You know what?
This new album?
Tonight, Killing Joke is playing at Irving Plaza, and that just came to my mind earlier today. I would just officially say, hey, I'm a Killing Joke fan, you know. And other than the fact that, you know, we would do the cover song from Total Invasion, you can't really hear that we are Killing Joke fans, you know. But now, after we release All Love You at Your Darkest, you can hear this and way more. The whole spectrum of influences are way more audible and present in our music. You know what I mean? Why? Because at this age, at this stage of our career, I truly hope and life is short, you know. I mean, I know life is short, life is that short. This is life. And I don't want to waste this on just limiting myself. I don't want to waste just, they won't understand that, you know. No, that's not me. Like, deal with that, you know. That's me there, you know. You like it, cool. You don't like it, it's cool. You know what I mean? And you know what? I'm not telling you. I mean, you may not. I don't know. I hope you like it, you know. But if you don't, it's still fine, you know. But what I'm encouraging people to, like, live your life, you know, and don't do compromises. Right. So if I get a vibe, you know, like the song, like let's call it like Killing Joke song. I guess that was a working title from the very scratch, you know. It goes with this, on the record it has a title, If Crucifixion Was Not Enough. Very peaceful title. And it has this very punky beat, like, and I love punk rock. And I'm like, I want to incorporate that in our music, you know. And like, if you ask 30-year-old Nergal, working on Apostasy or Evangelion, great records, okay? I respect all I've done. But to do that, I'd be like, nah, I can do better than this. I can always do better. And like, so now it's not really about just like proving the world that I'm the best, you know, because maybe I'm no good. Maybe I'm no good, but what I can be good at is to be honest with myself. You know what I mean? So like, I've always repeated that, hey, like the last person you'll see before you go to bed every night is yourself in the reflection of the mirror. And the last person you want to see is to see a dishonest person. You know what I mean? You wanna look in your own eyes, your own reflection, and think, hey, you did good, man. You were honest. I mean, people hate you or people love you. Either way, you know, it shouldn't really affect of this, you know, your core, your who you are, you know.
And I think one thing that defines Behemoth, and certainly your identity, is a willingness to take risks, right, and do what you want to do. I think this is manifested also in your music videos. And I actually, we have some questions from some of the people in the audience throughout the night that I'm going to pepper in. This one's from Raymond. And Raymond, where's Raymond? There he is. He wanted to know how you come up with the concepts for your music videos. You know, do you come up with the concept first, or do you come up with the music and lyrics and then come up with the concept? And these are very, you know, aggressive, visually aggressive videos.
Really, there is no formula, okay? So it can be, and it goes not just for the videos, but for anything we do. Things just happen, things just appear, you know? Or very organically. So, like one day it might be like a guy, one of you is like, hey, I'm a video director, and I have this idea, and you tell me that idea, and I'll be like, let's sit and talk. And maybe nothing happens, but maybe you happen to be a great video director that the world has not heard about yet, and we do something together. And that's how it starts, you know what I mean? Sometimes I come up with the whole script. Like Wolves of Siberia, that was my idea from start to finish, you know. I wanted this. I talked to the video director. Did you see Evil Dead? I want that, you know, that effect, you know, that the wolf is just running through the forest, you know, and you see it from his perspective, you know. It's got to be very simple. The story's got to be like very simple. Why? Because we released God equals Dog, which is like, fucking hell, 4 minutes, and you can probably like make like 3 movies out of it, right? If you just extend some of the scenes, you know. Here, I just need 1 character, 2, 1 dies, so still 1. Anyways, and very simple, very primordial, very raw, and that's awesome, you know, because I always go online and I'm really updated with what's happening there. So Raymond, when you make your comments next time, just keep in mind that the boss is watching, okay? And I go through the comments, and what I read is, Wolves of Siberia, what the fuck? I mean, this video, it's dull as fuck, you know? It's boring. Wolves are always hunting with a pack, not alone. And I'm like, okay, wow, give me more. And God equals Dog, that was an awesome video, and this is boring. Next comment, it's exactly opposite. God equals Dog, fucking Hollywood bullshit, you know, what is he thinking, you know, this is black metal, it's supposed to be primitive. Wolves of Siberia, this is the proper black metal video. And I'm like sitting there and go like, well done. There's this guy called Oscar Wilde. No, you're suggesting, not the porn guy. No, not that one. Because you did this. No. Too much red, you buddy. No, seriously. Oscar Wilde, the poet. He said that, I really like that. I quote that often. Is like the more radical, the more extreme opinions on the author's endeavor proves the genuinity, the honesty of one. You know what I mean? So like the more extreme they are, it's awesome because it just means that I'm just I'm just being honest, you know. And I'm not here to trying to how can I please both camps, you know? I mean, if I wanted to do that, I'd become a politician because they always like the populists, you know. You know something about it, right? Yeah, we know that too. You know, I come from Poland. You know, look at our government. You know, a lot of populists around. You know, an artist should be exactly the opposite to that. You know, this is what art should stand for. Middle finger. Fuck the system. I'm doing my way. Take it or leave it. Simple as that. You know. That's why I never thought of becoming a politician because I'm too honest. Anyways, what was the question?
Well, we were talking about the choices that you make in the music videos, but you're hitting on something here actually. I mean, you're dressed as Christ in some of these videos, and do you remember this? in God Equals Dog, and were you expecting an even more outrageous response or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm disappointed. It's too mellow, too safe.
I mean, part of your identity is sort of.
But you know
you
what?
like to challenge people.
I think that we still haven't reached the pinnacle of hate. So.
Do you want to reach the pinnacle of hate?
No, I'm playing with you.
Okay.
I'm fucking around, man. No, I want people to love me. But we're just. I mean, I don't know. Did I mention it yesterday? I'm not sure. I don't remember now. But we are releasing this. It's off the topic a little bit.
That's okay.
A little bit. A dog food.
Is this an announcement right now?
It is.
What's
It's going to be called God Equals Dog Food. No, yeah, you're thinking I'm joking, but I'm look at my face. I'm super serious. I just got 2 packs, like the premiere packs. You know, I got them in my hotel next door. Actually, I live here, and it's amazing. It looks like first you look and the cover and everything. You know, it looks like a coffee bag. You know, it's black. It's some golden like ornaments. It's beautiful. And you turn around, you know, and just read the ingredients. Like, what the fuck? Like full vegan dog food, and also we came up with that idea of like making these snacks because it's snacks. They're very healthy. I had a bite and I'm still alive. It's really healthy, and I asked the snacks to be in a shape of crosses. So it's like black crosses. So I think we're still getting there. You know, if we didn't get enough shitstorm for God Equals Dog, we're releasing something that's gonna make some brainless people hate us even more, and all the animal-loving individuals embrace Behemoth even more, you know. And I just came up with this really cool concept that, hey, I mean, because it's in the shape of, like the snacks are in the shape of crosses, right? So I'm thinking, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the first time in history of civilization that cross does good. It's cruelty-free, you know? First time ever, cross, cruelty-free, fully vegan, no one got hurt, you know? And you can feed dogs. Fucking top that.
That's pretty good.
I love it.
This actually feeds into a question from another one of our fans, Tiff. Is Tiff here? Tiff. Tiff wanted to know...
What did you steal? Yeah, thief, you said.
Tiff.
Oh, sorry.
Tiff. She's not a thief.
I'm sorry, I'm from Poland. My English is far from perfect.
I thought you were British or something. I didn't understand what this...
And then I'm half deaf, you know. What did you say about my mother? What?
No, but Tiff wants to know, because you're talking about God Equals Dog food. Yeah. Over many years, Tiff asks, your work has caused commotion in the political and religious world in the best way. She likes it. But personally, I see your art as a literal progressive movement in the music world. Would you agree? Is this a movement? Are you trying to create something bigger than just music?
Yes.
There you go. What's it about? Next one? Okay.
No. I will elaborate.
Okay.
And this is also something that just came to me like lately by talking to people, because by like talking to you, I learn a lot. So I was talking to one of the journalists, and I'm like, oh, I just realized that I've, like, for over 2 decades, I've been a massive Laibach fan. Laibach is a band from Slovenia. It's an experimental, alternative, whatever band, you know, very controversial, but it's a band that is, I mean, the core is music, but it's like an artistic entity, okay? And they even created their own country. They issued their own passports, you know, so I'm thinking, that'd be cool, you know, country behemoth, you know, its own passports, you know. There's only one commandment there, you know, stay free, you know, be free. That's awesome, you know. I mean, like, now I'm kidding, but what I mean is that maybe there was something that subconsciously I'd be striving for when it comes to Behemoth career. And don't get me wrong, you know, I know a lot of musicians, I have a lot of friends, and some, like most of them are just guys with the guitars, just they want to get laid and get drunk and get paid eventually, you know. There's not much money in rock and roll, I mean, for a musician. And that's fine. And I love getting laid, and I love getting drunk eventually, and I will say no to money. I won't say no to to fee or to money. Obviously, I'm gonna take it, you know. But this is just one level of it, you know, one dimension. But what if I have a need to channel myself in a different ways, not only business-wise, but also in other ways, you know what I mean? That's why we're bringing a Behemoth exhibition that we'll be announcing shortly, and we'll start in Poland, and we'll do it in Berlin then on October 2nd, London October 5th, and then I think we just stay tuned. There's gonna be one day in LA, and there's gonna be one day in New York, obviously. Last Rites. We're talking to Paul Booth, good friend, and they wanna be, you know, hosted, and that's awesome. So there's gonna be, like, you know, like some of the photographies that you've seen, you know, online, you know, promoting the new record. Just imagine this, like, massive size, you know, like, you know, framed, looking like 300 years old paintings. Then we are collaborating with this Polish sculptor that I asked him to do a human size, it's 300 kgs heavy sculpture that is interpretation of the old man or a prophet or a god or whatever you want it to be from the cover, you know, that there's this figure, this old man. So just imagine this in a human size. Actually, when he would stand up, he'd be like 2 meters tall, and it's heavy and it's real, and some Behemoth music, but not this, just some background ambient Behemoth music in the background, and a documentary on the record just being played in a loop, you know. That's the plan, okay? I just briefed you. So that's the plan, you know. It's gonna be very niche, you know. I mean, how many people it can attract? But it's another way for us to go out of that black metal cave. We love it there. It's very cozy. But it's good to go out there, just, I don't know, because it's good to go out.
I actually want to talk about that for a second, because we first met when you were opening for Slayer, on tour with Slayer. And in some ways, I feel like that was a perfect match for you. Great tour for you to be on. But in other ways, I feel like you stuck out like a sore thumb on that lineup with those other thrash bands, because Behemoth is such a different force.
You're saying it's good or bad?
Well, I'm going to ask you, do you feel like you're a little bit out of step with the rest of the metal world? And is that good or bad?
I'm not that arrogant to say that, but I love to.
Can I say it?
You can say that, but I'd love to think about you know, what we do as. So, did I say before that I've never claimed that we are original? I think I've said that.
Not here,
I've
but
never claimed. See, that there's a lot of interviews, throughout the day and yesterday, but I would never claim that what we do is original because no one is. In my dictionary, I deleted that term. But it doesn't mean that we cannot be unique. So I truly believe what Behemoth does is unique, incorporating all the elements that have been used by fucking billions of people, hundreds, thousands, whatever. They've all used that, So that's it, It's pretty limited, But the way you shift it around, the way you blend it, the way you fuck around with these elements, your own way, just using your imagination and your experience, may take you to some unique place. So I really hope that what we do is unique. So I remember having this conversation a couple of times in the context of the most recent Slayer tour. Mm-hmm. It was us, literally us, and thrash metal around.
Right.
So in the first place, I'm honored. All the guys, I either know them or I know and respect. I respect all of them. But after the tour, I know all these people, really cool people, and music that I grew up on listening to. But it feels so good to be a wolf among the sheep, to stand out. So if I get that question asked, and I do, so what you're trying to say with that record, overall message that we try to bring out to the masses is to fucking stand out. Just think for yourself. Get up from your knees, if you're on your knees, whatever, The world is much better if you stand, if you think, for yourself, if you're an autonomic, free-thinking being. Amen.
Great. I think everyone here supports that, and I think there's other acts out there that are trying to fight the good fight too. Are there other bands that you think are really pushing boundaries and challenging you to be a better musician? Are there people, bands or artists that you can think
Absolutely.
of?
Absolutely.
Who are those?
Probably too many. Obviously too many to mention. But I just look around and the inspiration is everywhere. So, I don't want to sound obvious, with bringing Slayer and Venom and all the classics, because obviously that's what I am. That's what they made me. Okay, mm-hmm. These are my grandparents. all gay, because they had to make me. Wow. Anyways, or adopted me. But I like to make these parallels with the other genres, that right. That are not obvious, So when people ask me, so what about this biblical context of that new record? I'm like, you know what? We are not a biblical black metal. We're not a Oh, that's a good term. We are not a religious. We are a very religious band using religious ornaments and aesthetics. Mm-hmm. But immediately it made me think of Nick Cave. That he's a fucking hero, and I look up to Nick Cave so much, and I'm like, maybe what I do with how we approach differently. But if you know Nick Cave, and if you know his songs, the whole biblical thing is all over the place. Mm-hmm. Even the way he performs is like, holy fuck, preacher man. That's the impression I have. Yet he's not a religious person. He's very spiritual, I would guess, but he's not a religious person. So I think it's awesome, I look up to these kind of people, David Bowie, and that's. So I got my cave, and also this whole spectrum of artists that are from different genres. So that's funny too, because I'm what we do is very theatrical, okay? We just did and I think it's killer photo session for the next Revolver issue with Jimmy Hubbard here in New York. That's why I got like this stains here and just look a little like a little hole, and yeah, and we had this session, and we just using like different outfits and changing, and it's raining, of course, it's boring, it takes forever, like they paint you, and like you may have these conclusions. I mean, like, fucking hell, I just wanted to play guitar. No. And then I'm thinking of David Bowie. But then again, on the other hand, I get some shit, for like all the theatrical aspects, with Behemoth. Like every time I go online, there's like these comments, yeah, you better focus on your music. You're just, wearing all these dresses, how manly that is, I mean, like, and I'm like, well, probably on the other hand, when I ask that hater or whoever, about David Bowie, who just fucking worship David Bowie, so how come you have problems, with worshiping David Bowie, just acting like an alien, like a girl, like a fucking goat or whatever he felt like, he would just transform into that, and now you worship that, and you're taking away my right, my artistic, holy fucking right to be whoever the fuck I want. Why? And then another. That's not black metal enough. Oh, really? Okay. Lend me that book. What book? No. The Black Metal Rules book, that's your Bible, because I've never read a Black Metal Rules book. I don't know what's that. I've never read that, because it's non-existent. This book exists in your very narrow brain. Okay? And to me, freedom, I think they're closing, right?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
No, I think we're okay.
We're wrapping up. Anyways, I talk too long, talk too much. Anyways, to me, it's like freedom, it's freedom. Art, music is freedom. And I'm not here to attract people. I'm here to piss people off.
Right. Well, I think the non-metal influences are the most interesting, actually. And Luis, is Luis here? Anybody?
Luis, don't be shy. Okay.
Luis was wondering, it could be metal, it could be not metal. Is there one album you can't live without? It could be a Behemoth album too, if you want to cite yourself. But I think he's asking about other albums. Is there one? No?
That would be fair. If I name one favorite record, it wouldn't be fair to hundreds of others' favorite records. You know what I mean? Plus, I'm not that. I like sea bass, okay? I love it. Sea bass, the fish?
Sea bass.
Sea bass.
Oh yeah.
Sea bass.
Sea bass.
So I love it, but I would hate, just imagine you have to eat sea bass for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as I worship Demisterius Dom Satanas, or Let Love In, or Ultra, or Welcome to Hell, imagine you are doomed to listen to this one album for the rest of your life. I give you 2 weeks to fucking start hating it. No, it doesn't. I mean, people are different, okay? But me, no. The deal is no music, or I bring all my collection to the island.
That's fair. Adam in the audience has one more music-related question. You said
it's a good name, Adam.
Adam, yeah.
Adam.
Do you know anybody named Adam else?
No.
Okay. Adam, other Adam, not this Adam, wants to know, you said in a recent interview that you really like the band Prayers. Is that
Yes.
true? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of electronic music, have you heard of synthwave? He's curious because nowadays you see its influence in the metal scene. Do you know about synthwave?
Synthwave, I've been told about that. There's
Okay.
this band called something. They played Wagner or something. I've heard about it. I really need to listen to some of that stuff because I'm open to to that. And see, I've heard there's a lot of metalheads doing stuff that is not metal,
Right.
but it's very synth and electro inspired.
Or hip-hop.
Or hip hop. Yet it's very brutal. But some of the stuff, it's like, I mean, I'm friends with Youth Code, okay? This LA-based band, which is what, industrial. And, but they also attract a lot of metalheads, because of the raw energy and raw, there's a lot of heavy metal there, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're familiar with, like that's why in many cases, people who listen to heavy metal also listen to classical music, because there's parallels there, When we were working on the new record, and I was working with this guy, Janos Stokwosa, he's a very young conductor. He's maybe 30, I don't know, maybe 28. And I told him, I remember I just tried to explain what heavy metal is, what Behemoth is. And I remember I used the term, keeping in mind that the guy works with, okay, let's put it that way. All I know about math is 2 + 2 = 4, and he's this quantum physics kind of guy, okay? And these two need to communicate. So I'm explaining him what our black metal is. And I'm like, it's very, it's query, it's pretty primitive and this and that, Just wanted him to understand what it is,
Right.
And next thing when I see him, next thing he tells me, man, I don't know why you said that, but and he starts to, talk about what he's hearing in that music, and I'm standing there like with him elaborating with his knowledge and his vocabulary. That is black magic to me. And I'm like, wow. So again, another proof, that it's all about angles, You sit there, you just hear differently, and that's awesome. That's awesome, So I don't think we're that predictable. We're that simple as I may think we are, even in compare with any kinds of music. So back to the question. No, I'm not familiar with that, but I promise I'm going to do my homework.
Okay. Are there any genres of music or types of music, artists that you find abhorrent, that you hate?
Yes.
Is there music you want to tell us
Reggae.
about? Reggae?
Yeah.
You hate reggae? Okay.
If I say they should exterminate all the reggae fans, they're gonna, because they just shut down my Facebook for 30 days. Sorry.
Maybe don't say it.
No, I already said that.
Okay.
So no, I'm a peaceful animal. Okay, peace to all the reggae people. Just stay away.
Okay.
All right. Simple as that.
That's fair.
I'm teasing. No, but then again, reggae is boring as fuck. Come on,
Yeah.
How can you even listen to that, But then again, that's a weird thing, because I remember when a friend of mine, people who know me know that I'm not a reggae person, right? And then I believe it was Metal Hammer or one of these magazines. They asked me about the milestones albums, in musical history, and I would mention London Calling by The Clash, which is an opus, it's an amazing band, and he was right pointing out so how do you feel about reggae influences in the Clash music, which are very present, and I'm like, I don't know, I dig it, and this is the trick. Same goes with I remember when I was getting into the the country stuff, So if you ask me if I like country music, most of it, no fucking way, no, zero tolerance policy. But there's few guys that stand out, and it started with Johnny Cash, So most of it is just cheesy, and it's unacceptable. But there's these few guys that just that I would just that I would die for, Starting with Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, and numerous ones, you know. Same goes, I'm not same, but when it comes to reggae, I'm no reggae person. But then, when Bob Marley is on radio, I crank it up. Why? Because it's really about the character, about the people behind that. And he was genuine. He was a rebel. He was an anarchist. He was, I don't know what he was, but he was a great person. I can feel it, you know what I mean? So the beat, I mean, I can just go with the beat and I'm listening to the words and like, it makes sense to me. What he's singing about freedom. It corresponds with me. I hate the aesthetics. I hate that this, you know, like, no, it's not me. My budget, my body, my cells reject that. But I'm building bridge with that guy. Weird. And I had that relationship with a lot of genres, you know, that I'm like, I may hate not hate is a big word, okay? I just dislike something, I avoid things, okay? If I don't like something, I just don't go there. But then there's this building bridge, another bridge, that is very interesting, you know? And I think I call it, or it's called maybe, it is called a meta language. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even trying to understand that, you know? I'm like, I don't like that, but this makes sense, you know? Like, for example, if you ask me about the German power metal, I'll fucking kill you. I hate that. It's stupid. It's like, huh? Yeah, it's just, no. But then I'm a massive Running Wild fan. I love early Halloween. Manowar is not German power metal, but it's power metal, and I'm a huge Manowar fan, right? Mm. But this is just a very few bands, you know. Other than that, they may vanish.
Are you an optimist or a pessimist? I can't tell.
I'm the Satanist.
You're a Satanist. Nergal, do you have any hobbies that would surprise our fans here? Any hobbies that you enjoy? Things that we would never believe?
Probably.
Are they private?
If it's intimate, then I'm going to keep it for myself.
Okay.
And I guess there's some intimate hobbies that I would like to keep it for myself. But my recent favorite hobby, and I love it, and I actually spend like thousands of dollars already on that, which is a lot of money. I'm collecting vintage shirts, the original shirts from previous eras, like 80s, even 70s, but 80s especially.
Cool.
Sometimes 90s, and and got some like really beautiful ones, you know. And my collection is just growing. So what I'm gonna do, because sometimes I purchase a shirt and then it's too small, because 80s medium is today's extra small.
Huh.
Seriously, and then sometimes I have like too big or too small shirts, and I'm like, sometimes I'm you know, I do the, you know, I give it away to tailor and I just get it done for me, so it's just adjustable. But what I'm gonna do soon, because my collection is just growing, and I like when the energy is, you know, circulating, so I'm probably gonna make an eBay account and just try to sell some of my collection.
Wow!
So I can buy more, and I hope that it will never end.
That's,
you know,
spoken like a true addict.
Yeah. But I like that, you know. But
cool.
Hey, it's like, it's better than, you know, getting heroin. You know what I mean? It's positive. It's good, you know, cool. Because, and also the way I see that. Lately, I bought this Venom. I was so pissed off, you know, because there's this legendary Venom shirt from '84, I believe, from Europe, where Metallica would open for Venom. And on the back it says, Venom meets Metallica. And when I saw it, I was like, holy fuck, it's a must-have. I must have it. And then I was bidding, you know, and I was like, because I don't know how to do that, I have a friend doing it for me, you know, and he just got my credit card number and he just buys whatever I want, you know. So I stayed anonymous too. So I'm like, just set up like $500, you know. No one's gonna fucking, you know, beat me. And it's and like last second it just goes like for 505.
$500?
505, you know, and I said about now no one's gonna pay more, you know, and I bet there was like another psycho like myself, you know, that's probably more wealthy. That was like, no, just set up. He would tell his assistant, set up 1,500, you know, no one's gonna buy it for 1,500, you know. I bet it was the case. So I was hunting for that very shirt, and I bought it like 2 months ago for $350. Yay! and you know what? And I'm thinking, because I get so much from you guys and from this scene. Okay, you pay my bills. That's exactly what it is. Okay, you buy the records, I pay my bills. I can get gas, you know, I can live a good life. And I'm being totally honest, you know. But at the same time, I'm not asking you, hey, you know what? I mean, you may download the record in a week probably, or maybe it's on torrents already. And yeah, download it. Go ahead. But please buy the record on the release date. Please buy it, you know. Because that's, you know, I call it karma, okay? So, but asking you to buy records and buy merchandise, I'm not just, you know, I'm not talking ex cathedra and just and then just spending all the money on heroin. I'm spending all that money on all the positive and cool stuff, including the shirts. So to me, it's a, what you call it, a recycling. You know what I mean? And so, if I get money, I'm not just keeping it in my pockets, you know. I'm giving it back to the genre, you know. And this way, we keep the energy going. And I don't feel guilty, you know. Like I'm asking people, please buy merchandise and buy records and come to the shows. And I spend that money on, I don't know, on hookers and cocaine, you know. No, there's nothing wrong with hookers and cocaine. Don't laugh. What I'm doing, I'm spending my money on quality food, trips, so I can like share the stories with you later on. And I'm buying cool merchandise, and I'm trying to stay cool and honest, you know, for you people.
Great. I think we have the next Behemoth album title. There's nothing wrong with hookers and cocaine.
I like that,
guys. We only have 5 minutes left. We have to wrap up, but I want to ask you some quick questions about the future. You are going on tour.
Yes.
Very exciting. As far as the live show is concerned, what can we expect?
So we are in the process now of putting the new production together, and there's gonna be like some just new stuff happening. Okay. Unfortunately, there's gonna be no pyro on a US tour. It's almost impossible at the stage of of our band. I mean, it's either Rammstein or nobody. You know what I mean? Still here. But some of you travel, so if you go to Europe, it's much easier to. I mean, club show we do pyro, and all the festivals, it's a must. It's a big production, okay? But we are bringing new gear, we are bringing new stuff, new ideas, and it's no easy. Struggling the budgets, you know. I'm not like teasing you, you know. I mean, the problem with us is like, the more money we get from the promoters, you know, the more money we want to spend. And we end up in the same place, you know, because I would never allow this band to like, okay, this is the level we reached. From now on, we're only like cashing. No, it doesn't work that way. The more money you see coming in, the more money you want to spend. And you know it by, if you, I doubt that you get, same goes. You get your fee, you get extra like bonus cash, you're gonna fucking spend it. Who wants to keep energy in his pocket? It's energy. You have to give it away. You have to pass the torch. So hopefully, and I bet we're gonna surprise some people with the new production, and with the new set list, and with this tour. And I know for a fact that we're already with the pre-sale numbers, we're already outselling the previous tour, which is a great success so far. and the band has been around for almost 30 years, which is just irrational, but that's what it is, and that's a fact. And we know where we came from, and I remember our first US tour. I could sit here for another 3 hours talking anecdotes about it because it's awesome. But I remember the first tour, like playing like shitholes with like red light only, not red light district. And us and I'm on the north, you know, like all these redneck neighborhoods, and it's just, and now we're just doing this. It feels fucking amazing, and you are a massive part of that, you know, because you made it possible. So I'm eternally grateful for that, you know. Really, really cool. Feels good.
I want to ask you one last question because you just mentioned you've been around for 30 years. If you could go back in time to 1991 to the kid who recorded the Endless Damnation demo and say something to that Nergal, were you even Nergal then? No.
Already.
Were you calling yourself?
Yes.
Well, what would you say to that Nergal back in 91?
Get the fuck out of here. You better chill out, dude. I don't know. I was just, since by nature I'm pretty naive. I'm really naive, you know. I always believe what people tell me, you know. They come to me and they tell me like, oh, really? I trust you. I trust people. So hopefully I would approach the guy as some kind of prophet. And I'm like, oh, really? Awesome. Then I keep on going, you know. Then I'm gonna I'm gonna eat all that shit, you know, that's to come. Because there was a lot of shit, you know, we had to eat before we got a piece of cake. So, yeah.
Well, it's been a good ride, I think, and I think everybody here is appreciative of.
It's been awesome.
All the work you've done, yeah.
And I love talking to you guys, really, and it was really nice conversation.
Thank you so much for coming and joining us tonight. Thank you guys. Give yourselves a round of applause for joining us. Any last words you want to say?
No, just fucking just stay healthy.
Cool.
Yeah, and just try to make it to the next show, which is November 3rd, if I remember well now. And since as much as I love like talking to you guys and taking pictures, first of all, you know, I need to pee badly. Second, I didn't eat for hours now, so next thing I need to do, I need to put something in my stomach. So I'm just gonna run through this line and shake your hands and fuck off, if you're okay with that, all right? Good.
Cool. Thanks,
Right
Nergal.
on. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for
Cheers.
coming. Appreciate
Cheers.
it.